Excuse me, guys. A little bit out of breath. I ain't felt the greatest in the world. Allergies. Oh. But we have got the purlins to go after this, but we're not going to do that today. Our concrete wasn't fully set up in the ground, so we're going to wait and give it time to cure over Thanksgiving and get back on this. But we've got our bows assembled. I'm on the last one, and I wanted to show you. So there are our assembled bows. Each bow gets 4 screws, 2 in each side. Your bows are 3-piece if you're using an Atlas Budget Plus greenhouse. And the larger tech screw with, get over where it'll focus, with the 3/8 head is what you use anywhere it's structural. So this is definitely structural on the bows. This is some of the most structure you have is the bows of the greenhouse. So the bows and the ground posts are the majority of your structure. And it all ties in together. But, so it's all got to be done right. So I'm going to show you just a little tip here. This ain't even a 5-minute tip. This is a 30. So when you put your tech screw in, you do one on each side. So we've already got one down here. We'll put one here, but bring it back a little bit. That way it's a less chance of it catching your plastic. See, I'm a little bit off from center. But when you put your plastic on, not easy one-handed, guys. So that way when we put our plastic on, the plastic is less likely to catch it, which we don't want to happen. All right, me and Tiffany are going to flip this last one. Yes, I said last one.
That's the one we were looking for.
Ask her if she's tired of them.
Yeah, it's the day before Thanksgiving. I got a lot of baking to do. I did a lot of baking last night, but
the baking you did last night was for the gluten-free items you had sold for people to come pick up on the farm for their Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Do a lot of that.
Yes.
So if you need gluten-free stuff for Christmas, she's going to be doing that also. So give her a buzz. And we do ship. Shipping is a bit more pricey, but local pickup's always the better deal. Okay, thought it's time for an update. So we're getting close on the greenhouse. Again, this is a Atlas Budget Plus 30 by 96. So this will be officially the biggest greenhouse we have on the property. The one behind me is a 30 by 72 Atlas Budget Plus. We need to get there and get the tomato leftovers and the weeds cleaned out of that for next season, but this is priority. So let's do a tour. Now it's wet this morning and muddy, so I got to be careful not to slip and slide. Sorry about the finger. So these are the corner side curtains, and this is at the roll-up sides. And what this does is, when your roll-up side is here, this keeps air from just whistling around the corner, because it's got to go all the way up through here and around. So some of y'all have asked about the fact that we don't have any wood on this. We are certified organic, and wood becomes a very tricky issue. We can't use treated, so we use metal. And to tell you the truth, I don't mind the extra expense. This works out very well for us. So here is the top piece. This is where everything attaches. So our roll-up side curtain will attach here, and then the plastic for the roof will attach here. And that runs the whole length of the greenhouse. And then this will be where our top plastic attaches. Now, this thing's wet this morning, and we're going to try to pull plastic tomorrow, we're hoping. But it's got to dry out tomorrow before we can do anything with it, because you can't pull plastic on wet hoops or damp hoops. It just grabs the plastic. It does not work. So don't try this at home. So here's our steel end walls. I've got to put a couple of braces in here this morning, and then this is done. One more down there. And you'll see we are already trimmed out for plastic on the end walls. That is hopefully going to happen today. So we're quite excited to be able to get plastic on this thing. So here will be where our roll-up door goes. Roughly an 8 by 16 foot opening. And this is where the man door will go. And this is the manual roll-up sides. There's the crank mechanism that'll be attached to the purlin pipes. We're already marked. Right down there is our mark. And we're marked down through there, so this will be attached hopefully today. And this side will be finished. This is our heavy curtain that Atlas provides with this. Instead of just thin plastic, we got a heavy curtain that's much more durable. So here's some of the pipes we have left on the ground that we're working with. And then that goes, that's them, or these. This will have to come back off. We put this on temporarily the other night because of having to leave this out here in the weather. We didn't want it whipping in the wind, so we put a few of them on to hold it in place. But when we're done, there'll be one of those at every bow. And so that is your bow. That piece right there. Real foggy this morning, starting to clear a little bit. So we just started this end yesterday. We were missing a couple of brackets, actually 4 of them. So we got our concrete set. That was from before. This was yesterday. Now, we didn't fill this hole because we have to do our rough end for our door here, but we don't put that in until we put the cross top piece on, the header. And so we'll take our post hole digger and dig out the side of this a little bit so that we can put the side for the door in here just like we did up there, and then we'll concrete that in. You'll see we used string to position the bottom in line with the door, and then the top is positioned with the tunnel, and then we use a post level to get it plumb. It takes a little bit of work to get it right, but the better job you do, the better job it'll be. So concrete. All right, and then that down here at the bottom, right there, that's our hat base. So this is what Atlas uses, and our roll-up sides will roll down onto that. And this is the clamp they use around the end. Now I will take a hammer today and I will bend those on around. I don't like that sticking out like that. It's just going to wear the plastic. So I take a hammer and bend those on around so there's nothing sticking out. I think that's one place they could do better, would be some type of a custom clamp instead of that. All in all, I really am enthused and love the Atlas tunnels. We love the one we've already got. You'll see here we had to put some mulch down because we were working and it was just a mud hole after all these rains we've had. So, see our cross braces, that is on every other bow. You can opt up and get them on every bow if you want to and spend the extra money. We didn't do it on that one, and we didn't do it on this one. We did go to, same thing as on that one, we're on a 4-foot spacing between bows. 6 foot is standard, but I like to do overkill. There's my hand in the way again. So 4 foot is probably not necessary. They do a 5-foot spacing also, and that may not even be necessary, but I'm quite enthused with it. I like to go overkill. Standard is 6 foot, but I want this thing to last and last and last and last, and overkill is my name for the game here. So up there is our frame out for our fan. There'll be another one on that end today, hopefully. That'll be for the shutter. Now, we're not going to be doing a fan and shutter yet, but we have plans of it. So we will go ahead and frame that out so that it is ready to roll when we get ready to do it. So Tiffany and Alyssa will be down here shortly, and we're going to get started. We just had breakfast. They were finishing breakfast, and we got to get some plastic on this thing, get things squared away, and ready to roll. So we have a Charlie and a Jack. They both want attention this morning. All right, guys, if you got any questions, comment below. I'll try to answer them. Show you a few more things here. So these are joined like this. Uses a stainless steel bolt and nut, and then they're attached to the bows with simple clamps and nut and a bolt, and then you secure it in place of a Tek screw that keeps it from sliding. This tightens it down pretty tight, but you want to be tight, so this right here is what keeps it from sliding. And you do the same thing on the purlins. See if I can get you a shot of that right there. And that works all the way down. So we still got to come back. All these holes got concrete in them. We got to come back and finish filling and leveling it off with dirt. We have a 50-pound bag of concrete in each of these side holes. Our middle post, which is that one up there, has 100 pounds in it. And then our corners have 80 pounds in all the corners. And then these ends have, depends upon the hole, they have anywhere from about 60 to about 100 pounds in each of the end holes. This thing is going to stay in place if we can do anything about it. Because if you've ever stressed laying in bed wondering whether your tunnel can handle the weather, it's no fun. So do all you can do up front so you don't got to do it later. Okay, I thought I would show you what Tiffany and Alyssa is up to over here. We're going to go outside first, and then we'll come inside second, so we can make Alyssa nervous. Because I like annoying Alyssa. It's been my job since she was born. So Tiffany's holding the pipe in because Alyssa's putting a screw in on the other side. And we got this This is your roll up and down to your mechanism. So we got it clamped in spot. Tiffany used those quick clamps. I would have used vice grips, but you can use either one. So she used the quick clamps. It's doing the job as long as you don't get rough. If you get rough, that ain't gonna do the job. And then we just finished putting, they started it, we finished putting these temporary clamps in, and a screw at each joint. I got some more screws to put in, but the temporary clamps hold that in a straight line down through there, because that's 96 plus feet of pipe, and it bows and sags and it's a mess. We advise putting these up one at a time, because the last greenhouse we put this up as an assembly because that's what was recommended to us, and that is a nightmare if you don't have a lot of hands. So this works much better, and you only need one screw in each of those temporary clamps because it's a waste. And when you're hanging this curtain, you get a measurement from here to the end of the hem, and then you divide that by 2 and you make a mark all the way down through here. They say to use a chalk line. We tried it the first time. That was about annoying as all get out on this piece of fabric on the side because nothing holds steel. I love a chalk line, but it did not work for us. So we just use a magic marker and a Sharpie and make multiple marks down through there to line it up with. And now Alyssa's in here on the annoying job because these little screws don't exactly work as well as you'd like for them to. So she's got to put one of these in at least every 2 foot. And hold on, Alyssa, I left you on number 1.
Great.
Drill goes a whole lot slower. It would take her forever. So she's got to go all the way down through here and keep the fabric straight and keep putting those in. So she's got a lot of work in front of her.